Well, absolutely. And so it's quite a very important day as the economic freedom fighters will have an opportunity to express its displeasure regarding this particular bill. And it's been roundly criticized by a number of world organizations. I mean, for example, you do have the United Nations Human Rights Commissioner saying this is a flagrant violation of human rights for the gays in Uganda. And we do know that for the EFF, this is part and parcel of them showing unwavering commitment in terms of support of the LGBTQI and plus community. But also, we do know, Leanne, that in the continent, these repressive measures are in place in over 30 countries. So EFF will be sending a very clear message outside here, the Ugandan High Commission, where they say that their parliament, in essence, has legalized bigotry. So they are calling on President Yoweri Museveni not to proceed and assent this particular bill. I mean, you go back to 2014, where Uganda was facing a very similar situation, but thanks to the Constitutional Court's intervention, that particular legislation was not given a day and a light. Essentially, it was rejected on the grounds of procedures. So it's going to be a very important day for this particular opposition party, as they emphasize that this is in violation of the African Union's Human Rights Charter in terms of people's right to coexist in society.
Claire, I imagine there's been huge reaction to this since the Ugandan Parliament voted in favour of the bill, and so we see the EFF leading a march into this. Have we heard anything from the government pertaining to this?
I think what has been a viewpoint of the Ugandan authorities, in essence, Leanne, they've been emphasizing that for them it's all about protecting the family values. In fact, there was a point where President Museveni was here in South Africa, and he made it very clear that for them it's quite important to have these particular laws, because they want to protect the heterosexual setting in terms of the families, but also what has been a rhetoric that has been coming from Kampala is the issue of saying this has been an imposition from the Western capitals in terms of protecting the homosexuals' rights. But of course, I mean, that argument has been roundly rejected because, I mean, we do know that for the longest time, the gays in Africa have been existing for the longest time. But, there's a very strong call for countries like South Africa to be vociferous, given the fact that quite a number of refugees do come to South Africa on the ground, on the basis of them being discriminated purely of their sexual orientation. So there's a clarion call for South Africa to be vocal in terms of condemning such a bill, but also President Museveni has about 30 days or so to look into this, and we do know that he has been a staunch supporter of the anti-homosexual bills.
Indeed. Well, Khayelihle, this is quite an interesting one. EFF, what time does this begin?
So we expect them to be just around 10 o'clock or so, Leanne. At this particular point in time, they'll be gathering around Magnolia Dell Park. So that's where they'll be gathering, converging, and then they'll proceed all the way to the Ugandan High Commission, of course, led by the EFF leader, Julius Malema, who has been very much outspoken in saying that certain people cannot enjoy freedom while others are oppressed, irrespective of their creed, sexual orientation, religion, and many other aspects. So they're really conveying a very clear message to the Ugandan High Commission, the diplomatic mission right in Pretoria, to send a very clear message back home to say that they're totally opposed to this legislation.
We'll have to leave it there for now. Khayelihle, thanks very much for talking to us early this morning and being there, covering this big event that will be taking place. That, of course, is the EFF marching against what the Ugandan government are wanting to do when it comes to making homosexuality illegal. So that's Khayelihle Khumalo following that story for us.